The second living Irish artist on our shortlist is a true megastar of the international art world, Seán Scully.
I always had the sense that things were special, that things were full of spirit, that everything in some way was sacred. I think that now. I think that the world is a sacred place, and that is profoundly embedded in me, and I work from that. When I'm painting, I think of my paintings as transformative and made with the possibility, however faint, of making the world a better place.
Scully has a room dedicated to his monumental works in the Hugh Lane Gallery.
Scully is one of the foremost abstract painters working in the world now, and he has garnered an international reputation for these sort of monumental works. He sees his work, as his abstract work, as expressing his own thoughts about particular experiences that he's had during his life, people he's known, various chaotic things that have occurred, various tragic things that have occurred. In terms of this particular painting, Wall of Light, Yellow Orange, it was done in 2000, and the inspiration for this work came from a trip that Scully made around 1983, 1984 to Mexico, where he was very impressed with the Mayan ruins of architectural ruins, and in particular the walls that he saw, and in particular the play of light on the walls, and that's why this series is called Wall of Light.
An artwork is not an imitation of an object in the real world. An artwork is a sensation from the world that the artist brings to you through a very informed sensibility. If we could just move beyond the idea that it has to show how you can draw and that it has to be completely replicate something in the real world, such as a tree or a lamp, I think you will have an enormous enjoyment and a great experience with Seán Scully's work.
I think the sense you get from it is the enormous energy and the sense of freedom in how it's painted, even though it looks like a set of blocked colours. When you look at everything closely, you see that underneath a colour, there's another colour. There are edges of colours around it, and even little flecks of colour. There are sweeping gestures which are easy to see in the brushwork. So while it might look as though it has a great sense of finish about it, if you look closely, you can actually see the signs of its own making. So it gives it a sort of rawness. Scully manages to share that feeling of what it's like to be alone in a studio, simply not knowing, and guessing and deciding and making a brave moment where you do it.
There was a woman in Ireland who was a dear friend of mine, who I truly loved, Dorothy Walker. And she said to me that I was the most Irish artist. So I asked her, how's that? And she said, look at your work and look what it's based on. It's based on repetition, and it's based on the endless line. And that's Irish art. And she's absolutely right. And that goes back to the Book of Kells and the Book of Dara. These lines that go back on themselves all the time. It's endlessly linear.
This, I think, you really do have to be open to it and realize the amount of feeling that has gone into it. But if you are not prepared to grant the painter that, then obviously it won't sing to you. It just won't do that.